Hey, it's Brock here with Rock Hill Farms. In the last 2 days, I cut down a big oak tree. We got it chunked up and carried it down here with the grapple. Now we're ready to split it. Now I've been keeping track of all the time I spent doing this so that I can see how much wood I get out of one big tree and how long it takes to split it, give me a general idea of what I'm earning splitting wood. So I'm trying to minimize the amount of handling I do. So to this point, of course, I just felled the tree, then I cut it into 4 sections and carried it all down here. So I haven't manually lifted any of this wood. Now I'm gonna grab each piece with the grapple, drive it over right next to the splitter, cut the ends off at 16, and then I will have to lift them onto the splitter, split them, and then I have the IVC totes right next to the splitter, and so I will handle them once to pick them up, set them on the splitter, set them into the totes. Then when the customer comes, I will load the totes with the forks on the tractor, and I will only be handling that wood manually one time. So my son-in-law just got off work and he helps me sometimes, and he's on his way over right now. I'll be here in about 10 or 15 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and get bar and chain and oil in the chainsaws, make sure they're fueled up, put gas into the splitter because I know the last time I used it, I didn't add gas to it. So everything will be ready when he gets here. So since some of these logs are around 24-inch diameter, I'll probably only use the 391, which I have down here at my feet with the 25-inch bar on it. But if I'm getting out the fuel and the bar and chain oil, I might as well get them both ready for whatever we need next. how much fun it is to be young. Check out my grandson.
Papa.
What you doing, buddy? Yeah, you got 2 baseball bats in the tree? He's just the king of the world in that brush pile. Maybe not the safest thing, but let him play, you know? So we spend another hour in between these clips just doing the same thing, splitting up this wood, but it all looks the same, so I didn't feel like I needed to put all of the wood splitting into the video. All right, well, last night we got in about 2.5 hours for 2 people, so that logged 5 hours. We got almost 2 rick of firewood cut and split. Those 2 rick are from the 2 largest logs. We've still got the 2 smaller logs, and then we've got some branches up there that are big enough for firewood. And actually the 2 big rounds we cut off the largest log are still down there. So I don't want to make this video 30 minutes long, so I'm not going to show all of this splitting action, but I am going to run up there with the grapple. I think I'll put my John Deere trailer onto the drawbar. I've never done that on the tractor. And take that up there and see if I can load all those smaller limbs up and get all that down here. My son-in-law is on his way over. He's going to split this up. Then we'll log the time that we put for both of us. All the time that we put into getting this tree from standing oak, cutting it down, getting it down here, splitting it, getting it in the cages, the whole process. We'll add up all those hours and see what that wood is worth, and then do the math and see what we're making per hour for doing this work. I'm getting ready to talk a little bit about how much we made per hour on this job and what we could do to be even more efficient. And I would say the biggest thing right now that could make us more efficient is a faster splitter. This is a homeowner splitter and it's fairly slow, but I also think for the volume of wood we split, it's good enough, at least for now. Alright, well, we've got that whole tree cut up and split and into these totes. To recap, the tree was 56 foot tall, 24 inches at the base, but it didn't have a lot of big limbs on it that could be used for firewood. So if you had the same size tree but it had large limbs on it, you would have got more wood. But right behind me are 3 full IBC totes. Each one of those is 1/3 of a cord, what we call a rick around here. So 3 of those makes a full cord, and then we've got about 25% of another tote there. So around here, I would say that's about $240 of firewood. Might be places where that's worth $350 and places where it's $150. But I'll base my math on what we can sell that for here. So $240 of firewood. Combined between the two of us, I'd say we spent 12 hours on it, and that adds up to $20 an hour. Not bad for manual labor, but you also have to factor in the fuel that we burned and, you know, wear and tear on your equipment, and I didn't factor any of that in. So there's also the fact that we weren't hustling to see how fast we could do it. We're just working at a comfortable pace and trying to get a routine down. But I feel good about that rate of return on this. If you see something in the videos that you think we could be more efficient or a better way we could do it, let me know. Otherwise, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. In a minute, you'll see links on the screen to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.